Picasso painted the head of the medical student more than 100 years ago. We can't be sure, but most likely he wanted to represent how medical training, like training in many other professions, requires that the person being trained gets used to seeing the world through only one eye. The medical student goes into training with both eyes open, and the doctor walks out of medical school with only one eye open and the other one closed, unable to see a part of human reality. This picture is a good metaphor for what many of us call the psychiatrization of poverty. We have medicalized something that is in essence a social condition, many of us believe. Many of the symptoms we see in people with behavioral health needs are due to poverty, chronic financial distress, and financial insecurity. One of the areas that psychiatry has been overly concerned with is the cognitive capacity of people with mental illness labels. There are questionnaires and other tools to assess capacity. Some of these assessments use questions like, have you been at risk of eviction? Or have you been late in payments to determine the capacity of an individual? What we ask ourselves is, do people not pay their bills because they're irresponsible or even cognitively incapable? Or do people get evicted because they're misusing their monies? Or because people don't have enough to make ends meet? So we must ask ourselves, how many people in our country would be deemed as lacking capacity if they had to answer these questions? Why is it that people labeled as mentally ill must go through these assessments? And most importantly, is it chronic mental illness what we see, or chronic poverty, chronic financial stress, chronic financial insecurity, and chronic dependency? Are the people in the mental health system mentally ill, or what is ill is the crazy-making reality of a society that lives attached to the myth that anyone can rise to the top, when in reality, few have the opportunity to do so?